Hi everybody! Welcome back to Bethanium. I'm Ellie Marie and I am so happy that you have joined me today. Today we're going to be talking about the 7 things that I use to help get me through NaNoWriMo or writing a lengthy written work. So this is my toolkit and how I managed to write a novel in a month. Alright, let's dive right in with number 1, and that is a hard notebook. It can be any notebook that works for you. This one's just a normal spiral bound notebook, and this is one of the 2 notebooks that I used last year. This one actually still has some notes in it from my NaNoWriMo that I wrote last year, and they're just chapter notes. And actually my notebook that I used regularly was smaller than this. I like using a hard notebook because I can carry it with me. I can just put it in my purse or my bag and I can take it with me. And I can't always do that with my laptop. Laptops, as nice and as small as they are, maybe you have a tablet and you can carry that with you. My laptop's pretty big, and so I can't always take that with me everywhere, and so I like having a hard notebook. And sometimes just the tactile feel of writing out something in a hard notebook will help to expand those ideas and help to really get your writing process going, because it is the more tactile than just sitting and typing. So number 2 on my list is pencils and colored pens, and those are for use in the notebook. I like to usually use colored pens in my notebooks. That way when I'm flipping through, it's easy to find things that I have color coded for that particular work to that color. So like I'll use character profiles in one color, plot points in another color, map stuff in another color, and I can kind of color up in the corner if that whole page is in like black ink and it's all character profile. I can color that pen color up in the corner, and that makes it easy for me to find later and say, oh yes, this is character profile. Oh yes, this is plot. And then I also like to have a pencil, because not everything's always in cement when you're first getting down all of your information in your notebooks. And so you need to have the pencil in there to show yourself this point isn't a stickler. This one isn't one that I'm unwilling to change later on, and to give yourself that flexibility of being able to erase it and maybe change it later. So the third thing that I would like to talk about is a tool that I utilized to great lengths last year. HiveWord.com is a writing tool. It's free to use. You can pay for a more upgraded version, but I have found that I don't need to pay for the upgraded version. So chances are most writers and starting writers and people who are working on NaNoWriMo won't need to pay for this tool. It is a free to use tool, but you can go in and it has lists, and you can organize your entire novel. When you first sign in, it'll have a list of all the works that you have saved and the different details you have saved with those works, and you can go into a work by itself, look at your character lists, look at your profiles, look at your item lists. And this is one thing that I really like, because you can detail items that are important to that particular work, and you don't always think about those. They have world lists, they have scene lists, they have just lists for days, and it is amazing. And it is a wonderful, wonderful tool if you are looking to just kind of organize your thoughts around a novel and to be able to track your progress as you go. So the 4th tool that I have is character profiles. Character profiles oftentimes are different for each work that I work on. Some works only require short character profiles for me to feel like I really know my characters and understand them. Other works require longer character profiles, and I have some that are like printed off and they are thick. It's before I really found digital copies that I could fill out. Hive Word, the resource prior to character profiles that I just talked about, actually has a character profile section that you can go in and fill out. So prior to using those, I was printing off character profiles and writing in them, and I do still have some of those, and I do still use them from time to time for some of my older works when I go back to work on those. So character profiles is big for me. As you guys have heard me talk about in the past, characters are big for me. A lot of times my works start with characters, and so I'm really, really big on getting to know my characters and making sure that they are well-rounded characters and that they are not going to be just your flat Jane and Tom type of characters. I really like to try to make sure my characters are as real as possible, and the character profiles help me to do that. So the fifth tool is actually a pretty basic tool. It's one that most people would think of. Mine is a laptop. A lot of people write digitally, whether it's on your laptop, whether it's on a computer, like a desktop computer, or if it's on like a tablet or a smartphone. A lot of people type up their works now. Not a lot of people handwrite their works because a lot of agents and publishing places and places you can get your works reviewed don't accept handwritten or typed up and then printed off works anymore. They want digital copies. They want you to email them. It is easier to just start digitally rather than handwriting out a work and then typing it all up. So for me, a big one is my laptop, because even though I can't take it everywhere with me, it is far more portable than my desktop computer. And I have found that I don't really like writing on a tablet. I have a tablet and it's too small. I like the tactile feel of my laptop keyboard, but it also offers me the portability that I can take it to like write-ins, and I can take it to like somewhere I'm going to be waiting, like in a waiting room for a long time, and I can write there without taking like a bulky desktop, which you really shouldn't be doing anyway. And it still offers me the tactile sensation of typing that a tablet maybe wouldn't. The sixth item on our list is Evernote, and this is an app that I actually have on my phone. I also have it on my laptop, and they kind of sync together, and it's right here, and it looks kind of like that with a little elephant head. I don't know, you can kind of see all my little doodles in some of my pictures. The big thing that I really like about Evernote is that it can take audio notes, and it can organize your audio notes for you versus having just like a regular audio notes app and it's just like a list of audio notes. You can make folders and say, okay, this folder is all of my just to-dos. This folder is my grocery list. This folder is my current work in progress. And so you can leave yourself audio notes on that when you maybe don't have the time to sit down and write in a hard spiral notebook like this one, or to sit down and type, but you have an idea that you just really have to get out of your head, and you have to be able to listen to it later and to mull it over and to think about it. And so I really like Evernote for that purpose. Alright, so number 7, the last item on my list is books. And I know that that seems silly, but really in order to be a writer, you have to be a reader. You have to be reading. You have to be reading things in the genre, in the vein of what you're writing. You need to be reading outside of that as well. But if you are really, really focusing on a particular work, it is good to be reading works within that vein. It is good to be reading things that are similar to that. In getting ready for my current NaNoWriMo, which is a thriller, psychological horror kind of thing, I have been reading a lot of like Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe, and because they're kind of the trailblazers for that genre. Lovecraft especially was a big just like founder for the psychological horror genre, and so I have been reading a lot of his works. I do also have some audiobooks that I listen to in the car when I'm driving to and from work. Those count. I also have my books that I am reading that help with more of the technical side of the writing process. I have one that is how to write a mystery novel, and while my novel is not 100% a mystery, it offers a lot of the same practical skills for writing a thriller, psychological horror story, and so that has been helpful. I also got a book on scene writing, on writing scenes, and to how to take your scenes from being just kind of okay to like being good, and that is kind of something I've struggled with, especially with world building and with scene setting. Those are not always the best, as I've stated already. Characters are my primary focus. I tend to focus on dialogue and character interaction, and I tend to forget scene setting and world building. And so those, I picked up a book on that for this to try to help build that weakness of mine and to get it up to where it's more of a strength and on par with the other things that I am good at. Alright, those are my 7 tools that I use to help get me through the NaNoWriMo prep session and the month of November. And as you all know, NaNoWriMo is insane, and so you need all the help you can get. That's why my tool list is so big. And I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, leave a comment below. Let me know what was helpful. If you have something different that you like to use in your creative process, please let me know below. I would love to hear from you. And take a moment to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so that you'll get a notification next time I upload. And as always, thank you for your time, and it was great seeing you. Bye.